List the pairs of congruent angles and the extended proportion. So we know that two shapes are similar if the angles are congruent. So angle A is congruent to angle W. Angle B is congruent to angle X. Angle C is congruent to angle Y. And angle D is congruent to angle Z. So there are markings. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the actual statement to come up with the extended proportion. So AB to WX, AB to WX is equal to BC is to XY, which is equal to CD is to YZ, and AD is to WZ. And what I'm doing is I'm using this statement here to come up with the proportion. AB is to WX, BC is to XY, CD is to YZ, and then this is the extended proportion. We have triangle MNO is similar to triangle RST, so M is congruent to R, N is congruent to S, and O is congruent to T. So we have MN is to RS, NO is to ST, and MO is to RT, and the angles that are congruent, I marked them, but I forgot to list them. Angle R is congruent to angle M. Angle N is congruent to angle S. Angle O is congruent to angle T. So for number 3, we have angle N is congruent to angle T. Angle P is congruent to angle Q. Angle O is congruent to angle R. Angle M is congruent to angle S. And I need some room to write the extended proportion, so I'm going to write it. I'll write it right here if I can. NP, the ratio of NP to TQ is the same as the ratio of PO is to QR, which is the same ratio as OM is to RS, which is the same ratio as NM is to TS. Determine whether the polygons are similar. If so, write a similarity statement and give the scale factor. I know that we have PM is to TS. We have one marking here, two markings here. We have one marking here, we have two markings here. MN is to SR. We have two markings here and one marking. We have two markings and one marking. We have NO, which is one marking and two, is to RU, which is you have one marking and two, which is equal to OP over TU. So PM is 3. The distance from P to M is 3. T to S is 4.5. M to N is 3. S to R is 4.5. N to O is 3. And then R to U is 4.5. And then O to P is 3, and it's 4.5. Now, you notice they have the same ratio, or the sides are, this is an extended proportion. So we know that it's going to be similar because the corresponding side ratios are proportional. That's one thing. And the next, the corresponding angles are congruent. So that's the reason why the two are similar. And we're going to make a statement. So we have P, M, N, O. So P corresponds with R. M, so we have P corresponds with R. M corresponds with S. And then we have T because N corresponds with T. And then you have U. And we're going to say this is similar. Number 6, we have two quadrilaterals. We're going to check if KLMN is similar to EFGH. So let me go ahead and write the extended proportion. So we have KL is to EF as LM is to FG, which is MN is to GH. And then the last one will be KN is to EH. Let's go ahead and substitute the values. So we have KL is 6.4, EF is 9.6, LM is 3 over 3. We have MN is 6, GH is 9, and we have KN, which is 2.5 over 2.5. And you notice this is 1, this is 1, this is 1/3. And these are not all the same ratios. So it is not proportional. I mean, in other words, the fractions are the ratios are not the same. So they're not similar. Also, we have no idea about this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. We also need to know if the angles are congruent. Determine whether the polygons are similar. You have an equilateral. That means all the angles are congruent and all the side measurements are 6. We have another equilateral. It's 15, 15, 15, and you notice all the corresponding angles are congruent. And that's one of the conditions for similarity. Second, well, I know the scale factor. It's 6 to 15, and the ratio is repeated. 6 to 15, 6 to 15, 6 to 15. So the extended proportion is, it's going to be divisible by 3, so it's going to be 2 over 5. So yes, these two triangles are similar. Find the value of y. Give the scale factor of the polygons. AB is to TS. AB is to TS, and that's my scale factor. So we have 17 is to 25.5. You can simplify. I'm going to leave it like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up the proportion to find y. So we have AB is to TS as AB is to TS as, I'm going to use one of the sides that I need to know. So AD is to TU. So AD is to TU. That's I'm using the statement. So I have 17 over 25.5 is equal to AD is 3y minus 3.5 divided by, or wait, I need to make sure I'm doing it right. AD, yeah, 3y minus 3.5. TU is 3y plus 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply. So we have 17 times 3y plus 6. You're cross multiplying. And 25.5 times 3y minus 3.5. What you're going to have to do is apply the distributive property. 17 times 3y, 17 times 6. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply. 17 times 3, which gives you 51y, plus 17 times 6, which I get 102. And then I have 25.5 times 3, so it's 76.5y minus, and then the product of 25.5 times 3.5, 89.25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 51y minus 76.25. That's negative 25.25y plus 102 equals negative 89.25. So I'm going to subtract 102 from 89.25. So it's negative 25.25 equals 191.25. That's negative. So I'm going to divide that by 25.25. I get 7.6. So that's a value of y.